Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Good morning, you guys. I was over here on mute. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hood Table. Happy Monday. I hope everybody's week is starting off good. And everybody, had a wonderful weekend. I've been watching some videos, been trying to get caught up slowly but surely, which is really hard to do when so many people are going live. A lot of people going live around the same time. But I got to get in where I fit in. This is going to be a short live. But yes, make sure you come on in and like and share the video, please. And thank you very much. I won't be here before you long. But I do just wanted to chime in on a few things that I just heard this morning. So I did watch like the other day, I had my show last night. So I missed King Roman's live because I had a show last night. So I had to go back and finish watching his live, which was really good. He had a call-in show. And the people was calling in, voicing their opinions as usual, okay, per usual. And some people were saying some really interesting things. And again, please make sure you like and share the video. Oh, yeah, shout out to the people who came through for my live last night because a lot of times when I do go live or I schedule live, other people are live. So I know people with bigger platforms and things, sometimes be live when I'm live. And so, sometimes people have to catch me on the replay. But I do thank you for those of you who are in our chat last night supporting Riggs and I for our From the Block to the Hood Table segment, which is every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. Next Sunday, we'll be over on his panel because we always flip-flop and go back and forth. But again, I do appreciate those who were able to, join us last night and those who hit the panel and those who participated in the chat. It was a very, very grown, if your ears are sensitive, it was a very, very grown conversation we had last night. We talked about self-esteem. We talked about relationships. We talked about standards, things you should have stepped or expect from people in relationship, men and women. We talked about all those things last night. And then we went into the really, really grown conversation topics on sex and situationships and things like that. So again, shout out to the people who were in our chat last night, who were supporting us. I really do appreciate you guys. Now on to the commentary as far as, first of all, the call-ins. One thing that, people were saying or expressing in their call-ins, some of them really straightforward too, when they were speaking to KRN, was, how badly they felt like, the dude Mosoki, is that how you say his name, was treated yesterday. And I did touch on that a little bit when I was live the other day, how, they had went in on him, KRN and Ness, because it was a little, it did seem a little shady. Because when I was talking on my panel, people were like, well, do you think the guy really could hear them? Do you think he couldn't hear them? And then I was like, I don't know. And then when I saw him on somebody's link later, I can't remember if it was Ness or if it was KRN or whoever the hell it was, I can't remember. But when Dragons had asked him, what is your content going to be about on your channel? Because they was helping him get a few supporters and shit when he hit the link, once they realized that he had a channel. And so it was during certain times where he was like on mute and he was just sitting there in the camera looking around, eyes, the same type of behavior that he was giving KRN and Ness the other day. And so some people's like, is the man playing? Can he really not hear? But, as far as that, people did give their honest opinion, and I'm sure KRN can appreciate that. And KRN absolutely, stood in his shit. Like, I know what I did was fucked up. And one thing he did mention was, would he have done that to James? Would he have done that to Fifi? Would he have done that to ODS? Would he have done that to, some of the people who's been OGs in the sector or well-known, popular, big channels, things like that? And he was like, I have to tell myself, who the fuck is you? What the fuck is wrong with you? And although it did seem like it could have been a little shady for him to, be all receptive to Dragon's critique, and then when KRN gave his critique, silence, on mute, nothing to say. Then Ness following up with her critique, same thing, silence, on mute, nothing to say. I still don't know if the dude was just having problems with his internet, but sir, if you are having problems with your internet, before you start your channel, you might want to focus on making sure that you can hear people, that people can hear you, things like that. Because once you become a content creator, those things are very important. Make sure you get all your devices and all that shit in order. Do some practice runs, get you a StreamYard, have a homie or somebody, on the StreamYard watching you, to try to help you out with that. But if that's really what you want to do is start a channel, you definitely want to get those kinks worked out, because some people could tell if you was playing on a top or if you really could not hear. If you really could not hear. And again, please make sure you guys like and share the video. Please and thank you very much. And feel free to subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new here, or hit the Cash App, $ the hood table 402. Now, something else that they did mention was the graphics. I did not know that KRN, once Dragons had gave him control of her StreamYard, I didn't know that he said he went into Canva and he found a banner or backdrop or whatever to use, because that shit, there's been time when I had tuned in to Dragons before and I always have to leave immediately. And I never knew that those graphics, that all that movement and shit, because I think, somebody said the other day that Dragons, and I couldn't remember that, but when she was, she had a different name when she first was known on YouTube, and I can't remember what they said her name was, but they said she had the moving woman, like in her avatar or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that. I remember how irritating that shit was when she would be on a panel. But when she would go live, like every now and then in the past, I would hit hit her link, and those things would be behind her moving in the circles and the lines and the lights, and I would always have to leave out. I did not realize that those things could cause seizures, though. Like if people have seizures problems, and then they were saying that animals can have seizures too. I didn't know that. I just know it irritated my eyes, and I just, I couldn't do it. And even when she was live the other day with KRN, when she first came on and all that shit was in the background, I turned the computer. I was like looking at other shit. I was like, well, damn, if I'm going to be here for this live to, support the show or click and view, whatever you want to call it, I can't sit there and watch that shit. I'm like, maybe I need to just put the whole window, the whole internet window or whatever you call it, down or something, or look from my phone or just listen from my phone, because it was like irritating my eyes and shit like that. But I didn't know it could go so far. I knew in the past I had heard like on movies and things like this, people who might be sensitive to lights or strobes or things like that. I just never really paid too much attention to what it actually can do to people. But I'm glad that King Roman was there to, put up a different banner. Like I said, I didn't know he had to go into Canva and actually create one. I thought Dragons had actually put up that banner, what ended up being, which was just a background of looked like some city or neighborhood or something. It was a really nice banner, by the way. that he used, and hopefully maybe she'll take that in consideration, because when I heard somebody on the panel today, they was like, I mean, well, it was last night when he did his live, but I was listening to it today. But when I heard them on his panel, his call in today, you know, that's one thing that people were mentioning. And I know also somebody had mentioned that they didn't expect Dragons to get too drunk, because somebody had asked me, did you think Dragons was drunk? I said, oh yeah, she was tipsy. And I don't know if that was part of the issue that she was having with setting up her show. If it was because somebody was like, I didn't think she would get drunk so early. And I was like, well, you know, it is Dragons. I mean, I don't know. I ain't never really seen her when she wasn't or sounding like she was tipsy. But again, if KRN wasn't there to, you know, intercept, to come in for the clutch. Can we say clutch? He definitely came through in the clutch, because a lot of people agree, had he not been there, and then Bree and them was no longer helping her or assisting her with her show, had he not been there, I don't know if it would have been a show. I don't know how long she could have kept the crowd, or I don't know. And I think that the only reason why it was successful is because of KRN. It was like a KRN production. And that's why people are giving him so many kudos, because he did a great job. And it was kind of like Dragons was just there. But I also didn't know that somebody had told him in the chat. He said somebody told him in the chat, just end the show. This some fuck shit. It's a fuck show. Just end the show and take it to your panel. I didn't see that in the chat, because y'all know I'm not really a chat watcher like that. But KRN, he was absolutely right. If he would have done that shit, he would, first of all, he wouldn't even heard the end of it. They wouldn't let him live that down. And like he said, this was Dragon's first, you know, talent show or competition or challenge or whatever you want to call it. And if that was him and somebody was to take his show to another channel or bigger channel or more popular channel, he would have probably been crushed, and he would have, you know, been cussing like any of us would have, because I would have been so upset. I wouldn't have known what to do. But again, I don't know if the alcohol had something to do with it, or if it was something else, why she was having those difficulties in the beginning. But because of KRN, it was a success. It was a success. I also agree with people who were saying shit like, why was Ned allowed to, I said Ned, that's my homegirl name. Ness allowed to be a judge when she wasn't originally a judge, and she wasn't judging from the beginning. The same thing with Lemon. You know, why was Lemon there? Why was he a judge? You could tell Lemon was on the bottle. You could tell he was on the bottle when he hit the link. Again, I stand on what I said the other day. I don't think Lemon was there to cause any trouble. I don't think he was there to cause any trouble. I think he was really there to support Dragons, and he just wanted to be there for moral support. I don't know if it was because he saw how the show was going in the beginning and all the technical difficulties, and he maybe saw Dragons up there panicking and nervous and things like that. That might have been why he came, but he was on chill mode. He was literally on chill mode for a minute until Tweety came up there and was like, why the fuck is Lemon here? Why, if he ain't a judge, why is he a judging? But nobody did that when Ness got up there. Nobody got up there and said, why is Ness on the panel? Why is Ness here? Why is Ness, after the show done already started, up here judging? Nobody asked that either. So, again, you know, people have their faves and you know, things like that. People gonna let people will let one person do something and let the other person get away with doing the same behavior. So I definitely get that. I think if they were supposed to be only two judges, then it should have been two judges, because like they said, had James known that Ness was going to be a judge, I don't think James, I can almost say, well, and I don't know if James went live. I wish he would, because I would love to hear his point of views on the talent show. I would love to hear him critique it or give feedback. You know how he felt with the judges just popping up out the blue. I mean, it went from two judges to I don't know how many people was on there critiquing. It was like 4 or 5, 6 people, and even the contestants were critiquing. And I'm like, had I been like a contestant, I would have been like, oh, and we didn't see no situations where things just detour to a different direction during a challenge. People is up there trying to get some money, they trying to win, it's a competition, and then all these other things has been thrown around like different judges, new judges, the people, the contestants were allowed to stay on the panel and also critique each other, and it was like really kind of weird. And but I was there for the show. I was there for the show. I was there for the entertainment. I was also there for the fuck shit, which we did see a lot of fuck shit, especially in the ending when he got up there and her and Ness started going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then at the end, Dragons was up there dancing and having a little fun and twerking and all that kind of shit. But a lot of people felt like Ness kind of tried to take over the show. Like, she was taking over. She wouldn't allow Dragons to shine on her own. I think if it was ever to be another show for Dragons as far as talent or anyone, I would never do those kind of shows because it's just too much. And as far as all the rumors with the money, and every time somebody have a challenge, there's always some rumors of money, some scamming and things like that. And I heard that there was possibly, allegedly, something going wrong with the money in the pot with Dragon Show. Now, I didn't hear too much about it, so I'm not sure what exactly they talking about. If all the money didn't go in the pot, I don't know. Because Dragons did say it was starting off at 2 and it went up from there. So, like some people, some content creators, they put a cap. Like, okay, no matter who gives, you get 5, you get 3, you get 150 or something like that. So they already know the cap. And if anything comes in over that, that's theirs. That's theirs to do with whatever they wish. But when you don't put a cap on it and people are constantly still donating, it's like there's going to be questions like, is that the real amount that people donated or not? Is that the real amount of the pot? Again, I don't know exactly what is going on with the money. I just heard a few people say on a few platforms that they heard that something was going on with the money for the pot for the competition. I don't know. I'll keep my ears to the YouTube streets, the B sector streets, to see if I hear anything else about it. But that's really not my concern. I just feel like they're all money grabs. They're all, no matter what type of competition you have, people are going to be hosting things on their panel. They are spending their time on the panel hosting a show. So I do believe that they should get some money, but I think it's a lot of mistrust when people be doing these shows. Like they don't trust people's honest with the pot and things like that. But again, I think the best thing to do is put a cap. And this is just my little opinion, to put a cap on there. I didn't heard people do that before. Whatever I get over this is mine. This is my money. So that's my feelings on that. As far as the other part of my show, the audio footage, I did say that I think that dude is going to keep slow walking that audio footage. As far as him having the actual video of Brie naked in the shower, I really can't honestly say if I think he do or don't. I something tells me that he might have it. Now he's bold enough to put this audio footage out there on Brie, like he just did another one the other day, and she's up there telling him that she think he gonna need since he's a Umar boy, and he's like, and you know what, y'all, if y'all listen to the video, the audio footage, if y'all listen to the audio footage, do y'all feel like this was a setup from the gate? To me, it feels like it was a setup from the gate. Just the way he's talking, like, I didn't really make you fall in love with an Umar boy. Like, I don't think that's something that a guy would really say. Like, most guys might say, and I don't care what sector you call, like I'm sure Brie wasn't like, I made you fall in love with a B sector girl. I made you, people on YouTube, I made you fall in love with a black sector girl, with a beauty sector girl, with a, mommy sector girl. I mean, it just sounds weird. It just sounds like some of the stuff that he is doing was a setup from the beginning. I hate that Bree didn't see that or feel that way in the beginning, but to me, that's how it feels. Like it's a setup. And like he's trying to urge her on into saying different things. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. Y'all can see it differently, but I just know I paid extra attention to that when I was listening to the newest Bean footage that the man put out on Bree when he said, "So I done made you fall in love with a Umar sector boy." It was like, I don't know. It just seems like it was a trap. It seemed like it was a trap. Again, I really wish she wouldn't have fell for the okie doke. You know, Bree seems like a very smart person, but when it comes to men, like people have said, a lot of the guys that she has introduced to us or talked to us about, they don't seem to be too worthy of. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so as far as the new audio Bean footage that was put out, he did ask her that, you know, I made you fall in love with an Umar boy. I want that booty, or I want to feel on that booty or something like that. And she was like, "Why you always talking about my booty? You don't ever talk about my tits or nothing like that." Maybe he's a booty man, and she do got a big donk back there. So you know, Bree, shoe. When men see you, they might. That's probably all they see. Like, look at all that ass, girl. Look at all that ass back there, shoe. Some men are, you know. We was talking about that one day, me and Reeves, on one of our shows about relationships and in visualization of a person that you might find sexy or attractive. And some guys be into the boobs. Some guys, they gotta have big boobs, or they gotta have little ones and a big butt, or they don't like the big butt. They gotta have big thighs. They gotta have, you know, some guys, they really specific about the type of woman that they like. And some guys are into big women and BBWs because of the booty. It usually is because of the booty. So, you know, I don't think what he really put out was really like salacious or anything like that. I don't know what his end game is. I said that before, I think he's going to slow walk this with some really semi-innocent audio footage. Semi-innocent, meaning that we might get to hear eventually some phone sex. Eventually, some phone sex. We might get to hear that. I really hate that this happened to Bree. I really hate that she lost her channel. I really hate that. I don't think it's right for people to try to take people's channels like that. But again, I said the other day, some people don't deserve channels. Was Bree a mean girl? You know, everybody can admit Bree's a mean girl. Everybody can admit that. But like I said the other day, there are a lot of people here who I can consider a mean girl. Hell, a mean boy. One thing I heard, who was that who was live this morning? Oh gosh. Let me go to my YouTube history. Maybe I can find it in my YouTube history. What is her name? Jessica B, the beautiful Jessica B. Okay, so the beautiful Jessica B, she went live this morning, and you know she don't normally go live, but she really wanted to chime in on the call-ins. I mean, on the talent show, and she also wanted to chime in on the Bree situation. And what she said was basically the fact that Bree doesn't understand how bad her behavior has been on YouTube. You know, that's that with me. You know, that's one of the biggest keys I got back from her live. The fact that Bree has to keep asking, is my mouth that bad? Did I say things so bad? Did I hurt people so bad? Did I and Bree has to call Lady Nika. Lady Nika, is my mouth so? And Lady Nika told her, it's the cadence in your voice or the cadence in your tone or something like that. I don't know if it's necessarily the cadence on how it comes across or how it's said, but it's literally like the thing said. The thing said. So a lot of people are saying you can still beef, you know, as far as everybody in the sector, you can still beef, you can still drag, you can still do this and do that. But some people just some of the things that people say, I mean, are just like can be very downright mean and very downright disgusting. And that's what Jessica B was trying to say. That's what she was trying to get us to understand. And that's what she's trying to get Bree to understand. For the most part, if you don't even understand your behavior. And we're all grown here. I know for a long time they was calling Brie a baby. I never understood that. I never understood that because there's some very young people who are on here. Some people fresh out of high school, some people young and in college. You know, it's a lot of young people on here, 20s, 30s. We have in the B sector, we have a range of people from probably 21, 22, 23, 24, probably up to like 70. Probably because when I hear some of these callers come in, they be like, I'm 69, I'm 65, so we have a wide range of people in the sector. And when they started calling her baby, I think maybe she started trying to feel like, there were certain things that she could get away with, certain things that she could do and get a pass or a slap on the hand. That's what I really feel about that. I never did any commentary on that before in the past as far as people calling her baby, but just with this whole situation and how the situation is playing out, people still be like, she was young. She when Brie came on here, what was she like, 26, 7, 8, 9? That's not a baby. My son is 28 and he got a whole baby who's 4 and a household to run and a job. He works damn near 12-hour shifts every day. So, I mean, I'm not calling him no baby. Like, at that point in age, you do know right from wrong. She's smart. She got college degrees. She do know right from wrong. And so when Jessica B was trying to give her some little feedback about her behavior, Jessica B hit it right there. That until she understands why she does what she does, or understand how lethal or how mean she is. Like, I didn't even notice, but she said the other day before her channel was taken, somebody in the chat had asked her a question, and I guess Jessica B said the question had already been asked. And so Jessica B was saying, you were just downright mean. She said you were downright mean and rude and nasty to the person in the chat who either maybe they didn't see the answer or they didn't hear the question or, something like that. She was like, you were so very mean to that person. And there has been times where she has been really mean. And I'll be like, I just sit here, though, because y'all do what the fuck y'all do. I just sit here and watch and enjoy the entertainment. And if it's too much, I turn the channel, I turn it off, I take breaks and things like that, because nobody can tell anybody what to do on their platform. Nobody can tell me what to do on my platform. But when you keep coming across the same problems and losing channels and being struck and all this kind of shit, like, a lot of things that happen to people on here is because of how their behavior is perceived, or how somebody is truly offended by somebody's behavior. And it's like a lot of the subbies also feel that a lot of CCs feel like they're fucking entitled just because of how long they've been here or how many people in their chat. And a lot of CCs feel disrespected. And a lot of CCs unsubscribe from people. I've unsubscribed for a lot of people over the past, year. I'm unsubscribed from a lot of people. Now, when I do commentary, if there's something going on and I want to get my view on it, yeah, I'll go to people's channels that I'm not subscribed to. I'll red ball that shit, or somebody send me a timestamp and I go back and watch it. Put my little notes together, give my little commentary. I'm not one of those people who say, if I'm not subscribed to you, I won't watch you. I've never said that before. I will watch whoever the fuck I need to watch to get notes for my commentary. And I'm also not a one-sided or a biased CC either. Now, sometimes we have to keep it funky, we have to keep it hood, and that's what people are trying to do with Brie right now. And I love Jessica B's stance on her outlook, her perception of Brie losing her channel. But she did say, just keep on beefing. And just try to look and reflect upon yourself to see why this could have happened, what could have prevented it, why am I on here so mean? Because I think years of calling her a baby and years of saying she's young and she's growing and child, There's babies raising babies. There's people who's 25 years old running whole businesses. I mean, with degrees and learning to be doctors and shit like that. Like, ain't nobody on here no baby. Ain't nobody on here no baby. And that's the thing. We have to stop. We have to stop coddling people. And I think there was a lot of that going on. And Bree might not see it. Certain people in her circle might not see it because, for one thing for sure, and two things for certain, when people are on here doing bad behavior, that's another thing that one of the callers said about KRN as far as the talent show. They said you guys just let Ness just wild out and display all type of horrible behavior. And it's like some people do condone horrible behavior. And some people in these cliques and in these circles, they might not say that they condone the behavior, but they definitely recognize the behavior. And if you have a friend or someone, who was that the other day? Said if you have a friend or someone and they see you behaving a certain way or they think that you shouldn't be doing a certain thing, a real friend will tell you, like, dude, that was too much. Why you cussed him out like that? That was unnecessary. Like KRN, people were coming to him and hit him up. KRN, why you go off on that dude like that? Why didn't you just double check and maybe wait later to see if his sound was, technical difficulties or something? Some people just need to just keep it funky and keep it hood with people. Just keep it funky and keep it hood. What up, A Jackson? How you doing, love? And I'm no joke. What up? Let me see what y'all saying. Good morning, Hood Table. Just catching you live. I'm going to say I followed Binary when he came over here to the B sector. So off and on, I watch people do rent over here. I don't care for sorry, my tablet. Don't care for Binary but myself. Warn Brianna alone. A lot of people warn Bree and others, not just her, but a lot of people warn people. Let's just say people warn the sector. People warn the sector of people coming from the Umar sector. It was almost a daily basis. I mean, Olivia Oracle, she was one of the main ones who was warning people, y'all let them people on y'all channel and they gonna do this and they gonna turn on you. And just like clockwork, back to back to back to back. It was happening. It was happening. And like I said, around that time when they were migrating over here, there was probably one that I allowed on my panel. And there was one that had got upset with me over something and he did a live and he went to cussing me out and all that kind of shit. I don't fuck with him. I don't fuck with him at all because he had a little temper tantrum, a little tirade over something so minute. And so I don't fuck with him. Some of y'all do fuck with him, but I don't fuck with him. I don't fuck with fuck niggas, okay? And I'm sorry. It is what it is. If I don't fuck with you, I'm not going to fuck with you. I'm not going to allow you on my panel. I'm not going to be on your panel. I'm not going to be in your chat. Nothing like that. And what up, baby? Hi, Rome Shaker. How you doing, love? Thank you so much for gracing my platform last night. We had a great show. I thought it was awesome. It was a lot going on. We discussed a lot of things last night for the grown people, okay? No babies. All right, no babies. But yeah, I mean, they were telling him, y'all just the way Ness was acting on the panel and she wasn't even a judge. That's the one thing. She wasn't even supposed to be a judge on the show last night or the night before. And she was up there going on one of Dragon's contestants. And it was allowed. So a lot of people were very upset and disgusted by the behavior on the panel. Very upset and disrespectful. Like, you're not even supposed to be a judge. Why are you here on somebody else's panel just cussing me out? And I'm not even here for child anyway. But KRN, he did admit, he apologized. He even apologized again. Ness, he said, apologize to the guy. But it's like a lot of us hear this behavior and see behavior in this sector, and people come back and apologize. I mean, hell, that's why so many people tired of Lemon, because he will have the worst type of behavior, and he'll come back and apologize. And people will just accept it. Okay, thank you. Get on his panel again. Start following him again. Down to his shit. Same old shit happened again. I apologize. I'm sorry. It's like a broken record, child. It's like a broken record. And I know this is the B sector, and I know we can expect crazy behavior in the B sector, but it's also a lot of people that are just downright disrespectful, and they feel so entitled to just treat people any type of fucking way they want to because of their status in the sector, or their big channels, their large numbers. And I don't know, I think a lot of people take that shit to their head, and it's like what's the sector is giving them, what YouTube is giving them, is something that's not in their real life. I believe like a lot of people get way more attention on here than they do in real life. And I do believe that a lot of people portray a certain person on here that they are not in real life. And we all know that to be true. We didn't see people talk about things that they have, homes and shit like that. Then we have a motherfucking camera slip, and it's like, oh my damn. Oh my damn. Do we need to call somebody over there to help you out? Do you need some assistance? Do you need somebody to pass around the offering plate for you? Okay. We didn't see. Anyway. I'm Neil Joe said, I know how remakes rolls. I'm from the Umar sector. The only thing I'm going to say, not everyone in the Umar sector are not the same, because a few people out, we all going to be generalized. Oh, you are going to be hey, we're generalized over here. Every sector is generalized. Every sector. It don't matter. The B sector, the Umar sector, the Black sector, the Mo3 sector, every one of us is generalized. They'll say the B sector does this, they do this, they do that, and not everybody over in the B sector does the same shit. There are people who beef and drag, and they are very respectful to their followers and supporters. And there are some who beef and drag, and they can be very disrespectful. We didn't hear people cuss out their chats, cuss out their supporters, all kind of shit. I mean, all kind of shit. People think that dropping people for money is disrespectful and rude. And a lot of people are right. It is. But again, you can't tell people what to do with their channels. If they want to get cash apps, if they want to keep bringing people on their panel that going to irritate the fuck out of people so that they can keep getting those cash apps, that's their, that's them. That's them. I would never do it. A lot of people would never do it. I would never do it. If I invite you on my panel, I want you on my panel for a reason. And ain't nobody gonna pay you down. If I want you down, it's gonna be because I want you down. Like, all right, nigga, you gotta go. All right, I holla. Keep it hood. On to the next. Always watching like your content. You seem very intelligent and rational. I try to be. Like I said, I try to be unbiased as possible, because so many of people in this sector, because of all these clicks and shit, and all the faves and shit, so many people are biased. It's so many people who are biased in this sector and get biased commentary. And it's like, if they don't like someone, but they like the other person, they always going to be on the other person's side. And that's why I like to watch also people who are non-biased, people who don't have shit to do with shit. They don't have no dog in the fight, and they ain't going to sugarcoat shit. That's what a lot of people want to hear in this sector. I mean, real spit. So I again, sometimes you just got to keep it funky. You got to keep it hood. And you just got to say what it is. Okay, this was some fuck shit. This ain't right. That was wrong. There have been shit that people done on here that we was just like, oh no, that's wrong. That's fucked up. But let it be their friend, their homie. Oh well, whatever. They beefing. Whatever. We can't give everything a pass just because it's the B sector. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Now I'm going to have to get off of here. My lunch is almost over. Got to get back to work, y'all. Got to get back to work. It's a long shift today. So that's why I decided to come here on my lunch break to get what I had to say out. But again, I will get back to watching some people. I gotta still catch up. I gotta still finish KRN live. ODS went live the other day. I watched a little bit of his, so I have to continue on with that. Limit, I'll probably go over there and see how much I can stand. Who else? Envy. I was watching him and RNY, and I gotta go finish that because they were doing like they were reviewing one of his member-only lives about something that Lemon has said and something that Lolo has said. Now, before I go, let me just Lolo, I said this the other day. A lot of people said this the other day. And still saying it, that they don't think Lolo and Lemon are really beefing like that. They think that it might be a play. And I said before, I think Lolo's gonna be back over there with that young ass, disrespectful ass nigga, allowing him to disrespect her and treat her worse than she would allow anybody. It's so crazy to me because let it be your neighbor. Let it be your neighbor who's damn near 20 years your junior disrespecting you. Let him scream and cuss you out over the fence and disrespect you. You gonna be over there, you gonna have your kids over there, your man over there. Y'all gonna be over here trying to knock him upside his motherfucking head. Let that be somebody at your real job talk to you any kind of motherfucking way. You gonna be in their motherfucking face, or you gonna be at HR talking about y'all better get this bitch. Let it be somebody at church and they done disrespect you, man. You been a motherfucking jump that pew down there and knocked her upside the motherfucking keyboard. But the things that people allow on here to do, to be done to them, is just crazy to me. Especially when you're a seasoned person. A seasoned person. That's what a lot of people don't get. Why, as a seasoned person with grown-ass kids and grandkids who done live life so many years on this earth, allow a younger person, somebody else's child, to disrespect you and talk to you any kind of way? They're both getting something out of it. They're both getting something out of it. And that's why a lot of people are like, man, Lolo over here talking all this shit. It's all cap. She up here live after live, cussing him out and woo woo woo. And then I done seen her hit links with him. I done seen her let him hit her links since then. So, child, anyway, whatever works. But we, a lot of us, we have our eyes wide open. We have our eyes wide open and we see things for what it is. Again, it's a lot of people on here who ignore certain things and they like, oh well, you know, they shouting her out. Oh my God, oh, congratulations for getting away from him. That's crazy to me. Like, you congratulating a grown ass woman for not letting your man younger than her, damn near 20 years, to stop disrespecting her. The shit is weird. Like, these are things we should know how to do. Then they call Lemon slow. And on that note, please like and share the video. Subscribe. If you have not subscribed yet, please feel free to hit that notification bell. I'll be back later. Maybe. Depends on how I feel when I get off of this long shift. Maybe. But I will be out here in these streets watching y'all, clicking on y'all videos, giving y'all a click and a view. Some of y'all will get a like. Some of y'all will get a like. But yeah, make sure you guys like and share the video. Thank you. Real Shaker. Oh, I know you heard them. Some people mad because you was going live. I didn't even know you were live during Dragon's talent show and giving commentary. I don't know if you responded to that. If you did respond to that, let me know in the chat so I can go back and watch your response. But I didn't even know that. I've been hearing that over the last like 24 hours that was messed up. Rune Shaker went live and was doing commentary on her live while she was live and shit like that. So I don't know if you did commentary on that. I'm sure you probably don't give a fuck. I'm sure you probably don't give a fuck because shit, I mean, hell, every time I'm live, somebody else live. I don't believe in that. Don't go live when somebody else is live. And I said that before. Hold on, excuse me, I had to clear my throat. But I don't believe in that shit. Don't go live with somebody else live. Now, what I really try to do, for all the fuck years I've been on this motherfucking platform, if there's somebody that I know is live that I really like and I really like to be in their lives and not catch the replay, and if it's not super urgent for me to go live, then I will wait till they're done. But I don't care if you got 2 billion subscribers. I'm not going to wait till all these big ass content creators go live for me to try to squeeze my little self in the airways, because I used to do that when I first started doing commentary, and sometimes I wouldn't be able to go live because they would go live back to back, and we know how it was before. Certain people would go back, then they would pass the torch to certain else, then they pass the torch, and they pass the torch, and they pass the torch. So everybody just follow them all around the world, and watching all those people in certain groups. And so people who might have smaller channels or might not be as popular, we will be sitting around like waiting on our chance to, I just want to go live for a little bit. I just want a little bit, okay? But I stopped doing that years ago. I'm like, I don't give a fuck who's live, who can't watch me. They'll catch the replay if they want to. If they support, they support. If not, because if you don't get in where you fit in, you might not get in. And that's what I always tell people who might not have big mega channels or a lot of subscribers and shit like that. Get in where you fit in, okay? And again, I'm gonna catch you. I'll go back and check it out, Room Shaker. All right, thank you so much for responding. But yeah, so again, like, share the video, please, and thank you very much. Thanks again for being with us last night with Riggs and I. If y'all missed the live last night, it was a really great show. I mean, we discussed everything, like all time. I like to discuss. I like to have engaging conversations with grown people on a mentally grown level. Whether we're talking about sex or relationships or situationships or things like that. I enjoyed last night. Some people was like, oh, clutch my pearls. When we was talking about certain things, clutch my pearls. But no, it's okay to have grown conversations about relationships and sex. Now, some of the people who may be Bible thumpers or something like that or sensitive ears, y'all might not want to go watch the replay if y'all missed it. But for those of y'all who enjoy those type of topics and like positions and stimulation and intimacy and things that people like, don't like, things like that. We was discussing everything, self-esteem, standards, all kind of things last night. So if you missed it, please check it out. It was on my live last night. Next week we'll be back over at Riggs, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. From the block to the hood table, y'all, every Sunday, Riggs and I, and we flip-flop from channel to channel every Sunday. But what up, LLAs? How you doing? Peace. Miss LA, how you doing, beautiful? Thank you guys for joining me. I'm on my way out, though. But, yeah, again, like, share, subscribe. Feel free to hit the Cash App if you want to donate to the Cash App, $ the hood table 402. Otherwise, stay safe. Be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember, say it with me, y'all. Keep it hood. I'm out. Bye.